I suspect Michael will opt to go first. Michael is playing what I believe most duelists consider the deck to beat this weekend because it didn't just have such a high representation in the top cut in Indianapolis, but it maintained that representation through to the top 4 and then in the finals when we saw 2 of them.
Definitely.
That deck, plus in the Swiss round. So I think people are pretty set on figuring out how to beat this deck.
That's right. And now Wanted Seeker of the Sinful Spoils is going to be activated, allowing Michael to access the Diabellstar, the Black Witch, from the deck. And now let's see what he's going to follow up. Looks like he's going to follow that up with a reinforcement of the army. That's going to grab Rescue Ace Airlifter. Airlifter, definitely one of the focal points of this deck. Yeah. Being able to normal summon and give you access to something like Emergency Patrol and Lockbird.
Golden Lockbird.
That's going to lock him down and not let him add cards from the deck to the hand the rest of the turn. Really good to hit off the reinforcement of the army. Not so great if you hit it on the Airlifter, but huge here. Luckily, the Diabellstar, the Black Witch, can still set the Sinful Spoil card from the deck. So he'll be able to still use some of his cards to access Hydrant, potentially.
Yeah. Now Airlifter's effect won't be able to add a card to Michael's hand, so it's effectively shut off.
Yep, so I imagine he might decide to send that Airlifter to the graveyard to summon the Diabellstar, the Black Witch. Looks like he's considering it, yep, and does send the Airlifter that is now useless thanks to Droll and Lockbird for this first turn. And the Black Witch is going to activate the effect to set a Sinful Spoil spell or trap from the deck to the field.
Nice way to circumvent the effect of Droll and Lockbird. Diabellstar reminds me of a really good version of the Tricky.
It does. It has that same kind of effect that you can send to special. I always feel that way anytime I see that kind of effect.
Discard to special summon. It's the Tricky, but it does other stuff.
The original one, yep. I also do that as well. So he's going to set the original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes from the deck. So now he can use the original Sinful Spoils to send a card he controls to the graveyard. Going to send that Black Witch to the graveyard and special summon a level 1 fire monster from the deck to the field.
He can get the Hydrant, but he won't be able to use its effect to add a monster to his hand.
Nope, he will not, but at least he'll be able to turn on maybe the bonus effects of some of his Rescue Ace Speller Traps if he happens to have some in his hand already, but it doesn't look like quite yet, so he's going to summon Rescue Ace Preventer, banishing the Airlifter from the graveyard, so this is going to special summon to the field.
Okay, so as long as he has another Rescue Ace monster out, he can at least use its effect to put an opponent's monster face down. And it looks like he has 2 infinite impermanences.
Not bad.
In his hand, now he's set, so he can put an opponent's monster face down. He can negate 2 monster effects. We'll see if that's enough for Landon's Purrely deck to stop it in its tracks.
Yeah, main deck Droll and Lockbird, definitely probably reason why Landon is sitting at 6-0-1. I've heard a lot about a lot of combo decks at the top tables this weekend. So, you know, having that meta insight to include Droll and Lockbird in the main deck, definitely paying dividends here from Landon, at least here in game 1. And then he's going to lead off with my friend Purrely. Mi amigo Purrely. We're going to pay $500. You get to reveal 3 Purrely spell or trap card, or 3 Purrely cards from your deck, and then your opponent randomly adds 1 to the hand. You can even go for monsters if you so choose. Sometimes when you start your turn with it, you want to reveal 3 Purrelys because you need to stick that monster on the field instead of being able to discard. But it looks like he's going to go for straight Purrely Street. So this is why some players play 2 copies, some players play 3, but if you do play 3 copies of the field spell, you'll be able to guarantee add it with my friend Purrely. And this is huge here because it turns off targeting. And you know what Rescue Ace does so well?
Targets.
Every card in the deck says target.
2 infinite impermanences and a preventer.
They all target.
All shut down by straight Purrely Street.
Yep, it does. It won't protect a normal summon, but does protect those special summon monsters the turn they are special summoned. The Purrely monster specifically for Landon, so we'll see if he has a memory.
It's a good thing every single quick play spell card in a Purrely deck can special summon a Purrely from the deck.
Exactly, and the one he's going to use here is going to be a Pretty Memory. Both players are going to gain 1,000 life points, and then if he so chooses, he can discard a card from his hand and special summon a Purrely monster from the deck. Going to discard a second copy of Droll and Lockbird.
Doesn't need it. The first one did the job.
Yep, that's one of my favorite things about this deck is when you have, it doesn't matter if you draw like certain multiple copies of cards, you're able to just use them as discard outlets for your Purrely quick play spells.
That's part of what makes Purrely decks so consistent. So he does summon Purrely, and he will use its effect.
Yep, so he's going to be able to add a Purrely spell or trap that isn't a quick play.
This is one of the few once per turn effects in the deck.
Start with 45.
Yep.
Real once per turn.
Yeah, Purrely just can do as much as it wants. Purrely, you can only try to rank up 1 time and can only use that on summon effect once. Unlike the Purrely, as you mentioned. And now he's going to see if he's going to go for Yeep or maybe something different. It's probably, he's going to go for the monster for Purrely.
He hasn't normal summoned yet.
Very true. Because, yeah, normally the cards you add with this is either straight Purrely Street or My Friend Purrely, and then you don't want to really get Yeep if you have a way to get to Sleepy, so you can go into Purrely Noir. So he does go for the Purrely, at least trying to interact.
He already has the street. If he normal summons the Purrely and you're Michael, you probably flip the infinite impermanence because you're not getting much more use out of it. Or do you let him just flip the top 3 cards and hope he doesn't get a memory?
Oh, you definitely go for that infinite impermanence because it's going to cut off the excavation and the rank up later on.
Okay.
But he's going to use Purrely's effect to rank up from the graveyard. So he's going to attach the pretty memory to go into a Purrely Beauty. Now he's going to follow that up with Purrely, and yep, here comes that infinite impermanence to cut off the Purrely.
There it is. Michael has very few opportunities to activate that card, so he takes it when he gets it.
Yep, and now he's going to use the effect of Purrely Beauty since it has, it's not that effect, it's the one underneath it. You're going to want to read the spell card.
That's one of the confusing things about the Purrely deck in general. When you read the monster, it doesn't tell you what it does unless you also read the Xyz materials under it.
Yep, a la
That's what's
Zodiac.
granting them the effect. So.
Yep, so he's able to send the Purrely to the graveyard to attach a card on Michael's side of the field as a material, and is going to take that infinite impermanence. So now he's up to 3 materials, trying to get to 5 so he can have access to Noir right away, potentially.
Sure.
Or he could be looking just to go for a Zeus with a ton of materials here in main phase 2.
Not a bad play because Michael has no cards once his field is cleared.
Landon off to a decent start, running Michael out of cards. Beauty is also great as an interruption. It has the ability to quick effect, just wants return to gain effect. Ooh, he has Happy Memory here. So maybe he was looking to go with the Purrely into Happy Memory to try and go into Purrely Happiness, which is an excellent card when you're able to attack into monsters. So he's going to go for another copy of Purrely here, sending the Happy Memory to the graveyard. Now, if he hits another copy of Happy Memory or something here, it would be huge. Or Plump. Or, sorry, Delicious that goes into Plump.
Yeah, any memory.
Any
memory would be good. Just to use with Purrely's effects.
Definitely.
Oh, there's delicious memory.
And Happy. He has his choice. I think you definitely go for that Happy here and try and get so many cards in your hand. Happy's going to give you an additional attack and Purrely Happiness. Every time you attack after damage calc, you're going to be able to add a Purrely quick play, for a Purrely card from your deck to your hand. I think he is going to go for the Happy, and it is going to the hand.
He agrees.
Yeah, when you have the chance to do it, it's hard not to because you just gain so much mana. Can't target. Special summoned.
Special summoned.
And so he's going to use the Purrely effect to rank up into Purrely Happiness.
You got it.
That's it for Michael. He sees his field is getting emptied. Landon has...
And it's looking like Michael's going to go first. Ooh. I just see one of the Rescue Ace traps. You don't want to see that in your opening hand. I think it's either Contain or Extinguish.
Standby. Yeah. Main phase. Yeah.
And he also has an Infinite Impermanence. Is that a Pot of Prosperity? Okay, this
Pot of Prosperity can get him started. Oh, that's a Kashira Fenrir in his hand as well. Always nice card to start with going first.
Yeah, definitely, and it makes sense to summon this first. Get another copy of Fenrir out of the deck first. Fenrir really cool in Purrely because not only you're getting that free Kashira Fenrir on the field, which can act as a disruption, you're getting a card in your hand that you can discard with one of your memories, but that's not the right deck. We're on the Rescue Ace, so the Fenrir is just going to be a solid monster to have on the field here for him, but I do like Fenrir in the Purrely deck as well.
Yeah, I mean, just banishing one of the Purrely monsters face down so we can't use this effect to turn into an Xyz monster isn't bad. As long as Street's not on the field. But if Street is on the field, you can get rid of the Street.
Yep, or the My Friend Purrely could be huge. But yeah, thinning his deck out before the Pot of Prosperity is key here. Now he's going to banish 3 to 6 cards. I'd imagine it's going to be 6 because his hand didn't look too strong. I didn't see an Airlifter.
I couldn't see everything in his hand. I think he had a... Oh, Ash Blossom hits the Prosperity for 6.
That looks like a quarter-century Secret Rare Ash Blossom out of the Rarity Collection.
Beautiful card.
All right, and now does he have a follow-up? It's just going to be 2 traps set face down.
Set 2? Sure.
Doesn't open up with emergency again, just Fenrir and a couple traps. Only one of those is actually going to be able to be used. Is it going to be enough? Does he have the straight Purrely Street again?
He just has a Fenrir and an Ash Blossom in his hand. This time, at least Michael can potentially banish the Street with his Kashira Fenrir. But Landon has Lightning Storm, and he's going to take down the 2 back row cards. There goes the Infinite Impermanence, and is that Extinguish?
It is Extinguish. Both getting sent to the graveyard, and now he has the straight Purrely Street again. But does he have a Purrely Quick Play? He does. He's going to go for Pretty Memory, and that's going to be met by Ash Blossom, hoping he doesn't have another Purrely Quick Play spell. But he has Purrely. This is huge. So he'll be able to grab My Friend Purrely. Oh, but he has the Fenrir.
He does have the Fenrir,
But
and
the
now the Fenrir can banish the Purrely lead because it was normal summon.
Yep.
So my question to you is, I have a few questions for you, actually.
I might have an answer.
First off, which card do you banish, the Purrely or the Stray Street?
I think you have to go for the Purrely since he used the Pretty Memory,
Yeah, I'll go for it.
because you don't want him to go into Beauty and be able just to negate the
response.
Fenrir.
And
And so then he can use the My Friend and go into a Purrely and kind of hope to hit
I'm sorry. Yeah.
another. Or actually, he could just grab
Because-
another Purrely from the deck, not excavate,
My
and still
Friend
rank up
Purrely.
with the Delicious that's in the graveyard.
he can, using whatever
Yes.
quick play spell he gets from his My Friend Purrely.
Yep.
So he's kind of Landon's in a pretty good spot, I think. My other question is, what do you think of the play of Ash Blossom, using Ash Blossom to negate the effect of a quick play spell?
Desperate.
Target.
Yeah,
Desperate and
I-
hopeful.
I-
Desperate and hopeful.
I know some Purrely players at my locals who said never do that. It's not worth it.
Yeah, if you do it, it's because like you're really, really hoping, because he wouldn't be able to stop the monster coming out and being ranked up into Beauty. So it's either use it or lose it now, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he could have used it on the Purrely Lee here had he saved it.
True, but he would also have another. He would have summoned a Purrely. Yeah, it would have been another monster on the board as well. So it would have been dicey. But yeah, it's not something you normally want to do because they could have just another Purrely quick play in the hand to use afterwards. That is true. And it looks like we're revealing 3 copies of Purrely Happy Memory. So he's looking to get in some attacks so he can amass a bunch of Purrely spells. So yeah, I think he is just going to go for Purrely again. Purrely, I mean.
Choose the My Friend Purrely. Okay.
So he's going to protect the My Friend Purrely until the end of the next turn. If it's destroyed by a card effect, it is not. So yep,
Sure.
he's not going to get the effect to add again, but he can still use the effect to rank up from the graveyard.
Yeah, so this was the risk that Michael took by banishing the Purrely face down.
Yeah, but he knew that this would be the result.
Can I read it?
So he's at least going to have a Zeus with a ton of materials, if not a Noir. He'll be able to add one. He'll attack once, attack twice. Yeah, he'll get 3 attacks off here, so he's going to be able to add 3 Purrely spells to the
in the
hand.
main
One of
phase?
them's going to have to be happy so he
I'll go
can
battle.
attach
Yeah.
it.
That's a lot of cards.
So,
Yep, so he's
that's
going to take 400.
Damage effect. Yeah.
I'm always impressed at the speed with which
The
the
attack,
Purrely
right?
deck can amass
Yeah,
cards.
the attack.
Oh, I mean, happiness is just
So it's still
crazy.
400.
He might have wanted to summon that Fenrir in attack
Sure,
mode in
so
this situation, but he did have the Lightning Storm and Harvey's Feather Duster, so it might not have mattered had he
Oh,
done
you're
that.
right.
So it would have been tough either way, but I didn't see which spell he had. I know he's going to add at least 1 Happy Memory so he can get the 3rd attack in. He gets 2 attacks right now with the 1 Happy Memory underneath.
Damage effect half.
So he keeps having the attack and then taking the damage from attacking into it in defense mode. After damage calculation, he's going to be able to add a Purrely quick play, imagine.
Yeah, read the Happy Memory.
He'll probably get a Happy Memory and a Delicious Memory. He could also look for a Beauty as well. Because if he gets a Beauty, he might be able to just go into like try and somehow go into like a Noir and I guess he already ranked it from the graveyard. So yeah, he could get a Pretty in his hand and use the Purrely to go into a Beauty from the one in his hand as well. He has a couple of options here. But I imagine he's at least going to want to get a Delicious to attack over this Fenrir. But he doesn't really have to because he could just use the Pretty Memory effect later on to attach it as a material.
That's true.
The world is Landon's oyster right now.
Yeah, because happiness can search for such a wide variety of cards from the deck, all of which
Out of Delicious.
enhance its effects in different ways. So he's going to go for the Delicious Memory, so it looks like he is aiming to destroy Fenrir in battle.
Yep, so he's going to activate the Happy Memory. If Michael doesn't have any chains, he can chain Purrely Happiness up to thrice per turn, attach it as a material, and then return a spell or trap card on the field of the hand if he so chooses. There's nothing to return, so he's just going to get that extra attack after damage calculation add. He's up to 1, 2, 3 materials. So yeah, he will at minimum be able to go into a Noir with 5 materials and getting that stray Purrely straight at the end phase. He can also grab Purrely Yeep right here. If he has Purrely Yeep, activates the Delicious, attaches the Delicious. Well, he just uses his extra attack, so he would need another Happiness. He'd have to go Happiness into Delicious and then go into a Noir. I don't think that's bad, and that is what he's going to do.
He has the happiness. Yeah, I think he would rather just summon the Purrely Noir naturally rather than yeep into it.
Yep.
So that he gets to keep it even through the opponent's next turn. Because right now, Michael only has 1 card in his hand.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so he is going to take it as a material because he's not attacking over. This is his last attack. He's going to add the Delicious.
Well, he needs the 5th material anyway. He has Delicious.
Yeah, I mean, you could just activate the Delicious and attach it and then attack. And you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 materials.
Right, with the Delicious.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's holding off on the Delicious, trying to add a card so he can discard. It looks like he's looking at Sleepy Memory.
Oh, rather than destroy it in battle. Well, maybe interesting. He can return it to the deck with the Purrely Noir's effect, perhaps.
He has a lot of options.
He definitely wants to get that on the field.
Okay.
So he's going to
taking Sleepy Memory.
Interesting. So let's see if he's going to activate Sleepy or Delicious. So he's going to use Delicious. Does he chain the...
Change.
Okay, so he's going to
Course,
chain.
use my own monster.
So what does Delicious do?
Can't be destroyed by battle this turn.
Okay. Until the end phase of the next turn.
No, this turn. I'm pretty sure Delicious is just your turn and Happy till the end of the next turn.
Main phase 2.
Yeah.
So he's just going to go with the 5 materials. Yeah, see, he could have done that before he did the attack and then destroyed the Fenrir.
Yeah, instead of
You
an
just had to
additional
activate.
search, right?
No, you still get the search. You just activate the Delicious, it attaches, he gets stronger,
Oh,
it
you're
attacks
right.
over.
You're right.
Yeah.
On that last attack, he could have done that.
Yeah. But that's okay. Not a big deal here. He's up huge. He's going to have the straight Purrely Street at the end phase. He has the Sleepy in hand still.
And how many materials does it have?
Or did he?
He didn't activate it
Oh, interesting.
May I read Delicious?
because he played the Delicious.
Yeah. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 materials. He's going to get the 7th one with straight Purrely Street at the end phase. 7 is a really good number because you're able to use the effect to detach 2 to shuffle back a card. Yeah, just going to set the Sleepy. Interesting. Covering all his bases here, maybe. Because, I mean, when you have a Sleepy set and you're able to reduce the first damage you would take to 0, you're pretty much guaranteed not to lose. But he's going to get the Sleepy memory here under Noir. But, yeah, I think I would have taken down that Fenrir.
Yeah, there's really no reason not to have.
Yep.
He's in great shape, though. He has the Purrely Noir with 7 materials. Even if he detaches 2, he'll still have the 5, which gives him immunity.
It looks like he's thinking about doing that in the end phase here, and he is going to end phase. He's going to detach the Delicious in Happiness.
Targeting the Fenrir.
Interesting, he went for the Delicious instead of the Happy memory to detach.
Bottom?
But to each his own, and he's going to put a card on the bottom of the deck, putting the Fenrir on the bottom. So yeah, rough turn, but still in a good shape here for Landon.
he's
The
in
Purrely
great
player
shape.
in me is kind of screaming like, "Ah!" But
Why
we're
didn't you
okay.
use this? Oh, that looks
He-
like a
I got
Turbulence in
used
his
to it, yeah.
hand, but does he have 2 cards to banish to summon it?
Oh, he has the Fenrir and the Turbulence. Yeah, this could be something to play into. Landon giving an opportunity here
don't think
to
anything's gonna
Michael.
Okay. I'm going to go effective draw 1.
I mean, realistically, Landon has a Noir that has 5 materials, which means you can send 2 of Michael's cards back to the deck,
Main phase?
which he only has 2 cards, so I don't know how much it's actually going to matter, even if he can
Anything on
summon
the summon?
Turbulence, which I don't believe he can. It looks like he only has 1 Rescue Ace card in his graveyard.
Effective Fenrir to add? Is that fine?
Yep,
So
doesn't
he's
use the
special
Fenrir.
summoning Fenrir, and Landon's actually letting him instead of just returning it to the deck immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I do like
Fenrir?
keeping the 5 materials on Noir, but I would have preferred to be able to be in the same position and still have the 5 materials on Noir and the Fenrir gone out of here.
That's past, Billy. Let's
Yeah,
move
I know,
on.
I gotta move on. I gotta
Yeah, move
focus on the
from
future.
that. So would you use the Noir's effect to get rid of the Fenrir before it
I
searches?
don't think so. Yeah, I think because that's the only opportunity to like really have anything go wrong. But yeah, as you
think-
mentioned, he's so far ahead. It's
What
gonna
can go wrong, though, when Michael has 1 card in his hand?
be thrust into
Oh,
something.
that's potential. That is potentially.
It just goes from a 100% chance to like 99% chance. You know, I don't even want to give my opponent the 1% chance to come out of it. But Michael's searching for answers in his extra deck. I don't know if he's going to find any. He's just going to go to the battle phase.
Fenrir attack.
So he's going to attack. He's going to go after one of
Fenrir
these,
to target,
either the
my
field
friend
spell or
to
the
banish this
continuous
spell.
spell.
He goes after my friend Purrely.
Sure, that's fine.
Banishes it face down.
It's
All right.
plus 15 defense.
No,
Nope, he detached the delicious instead of the happy. So it has just the 2,800, so it only takes 400.
600 to my 59, correct?
Yeah.
Landon valuing the multiple attacks on monsters on his Noir over having huge stats.
Last turn.
Michael double checking just to make sure there aren't 2 Rescue Ace cards.
Man, if I'm in Michael's position, I'm just like kind of feeling bad because I'm sure Michael knows like, well, man, this game could have just been completely over, even though it essentially is. So at the end phase, straight Purrely Street can attach from the graveyard or deck. He's going to attach the pretty memory to Noir, allowing him to be able to take that Fenrir as a material on his turn by sending a card on his side of the field to the graveyard as a cost.
This Purrely Noir looks unstoppable right now.
It would be pretty big, but now he's got that delicious in the graveyard.
He'll get it back with the street later.
Yeah, he definitely will. And pretty sleepy memory is going to come down. It looks like he drew Purrely Yeep.
Doesn't need that. He already has his Ace monster on the field.
Exactly. And now he's going to summon Purrely. He's like, oh, you banished my from Purrely? That's all right. I think I'm just going to go get another if I don't mind myself.
All right, Fenrir's effect can activate to get rid of the street, or well, it can't get rid of the Purrely because the street is currently protecting it.
Yeah, we can get rid of the street.
So it can only get rid of the street.
Still, it's something. I'll take it.
Better than nothing. This Fenrir is really just a little more than a nuisance at this point.
Maybe Landon just wants to spend more time on the feature match stage.
He likes the lights. It's the brightest part of the room.
He needs to be careful not to get a slow play warning here, too. I mean, he needs to navigate this well, but...
I think he's playing at a reasonable pace.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Oh, so I guess that expert... Well, first of all, I guess the Fenrir did not use this effect on the straight street. And second of all, it looks like the Purrely Noir will not get the delicious memory since Plump ate it up.
Yep, so Plump is now at, what, 800? 600? Yeah.
Massive.
And nope, it looks like Michael's